Okay, we are at the top of the driveway again, and I'm going to walk down here and do a little compare and contrast moment. In the meantime, fill in with a little of the history again. Max Lindiger and Leah Harrison is her name. Were the teachers at that advanced design course, and Max went on to initiate the first sort of conscious permaculture community design in Australia called Crystal Waters, and I think that was in 1989. Not sure. I have to look into that, but by now it must be quite beautiful. So the permaculture design science does include things like legal systems and communal equipment kind of storage and operation and so on. So it leads to less overhead and less basic cost. So this little walk here that I'm doing is on the lower easement road of my property, and I wanted to show a comparison. Pretty simple. Right over here is a piece of property. It's about 100 acres, I think. And as you can see, aside from these wonderful Inia trees or Chinaberry trees that are so drought tolerant and create some shade, it's pretty well browsed back, and this particular property has a lot of deer on it. And so what you see is a lot of kind of sticks of shrubs that have been foraged for their greenery, and some of the glycine that's everywhere also browsed back, but not a whole lot else, and a lot of erosion patterns that are created by herds of deer that come through and usually follow a pretty similar path. So the guy that owns the property doesn't like anybody hunting. You can dig that. But it has led to a kind of a sanctuary for the deer. So that's what that looks like. Across the street here, what you've got is a pretty typical look for a cattle pasture. It's been browsed down. You can see clumpy formations of grass that have been eaten down to the nub, and much of that grass, unlike the other property there, was really brought in for cattle over the last couple of centuries. They were, I think, it was 8 cows and 1 bull gifted to Kamehameha late 1700s, 1790 something, and that was great. They were longhorns, and they were just put out to pasture and went about reproducing, and then beginning to start to devastate the watershed and stuff. So they corralled them in and started the kind of the whole cattle industry here, which has really done not much more than devastate lands that could be put to better use. So this is the look that you get when you decide to pasture cows on land that might be able to handle 1 per acre. And so panning across the street a little bit here, it's a little hard to tell in any detail, but it's very easy to tell from the right side of the road over to the left side that there's something very different going on. So much of the property that I have acquired and spent my life developing so that I could do stuff like this, I guess, is surrounded you know, literally surrounded by land like this. And I don't mean just this guy's 100 acres and that little piece across the street. I mean thousands and thousands of acres. Going all the way down the hill to Kihei is all in that kind of circumstance. Now this is the, oh look, a mask. Just in case, I've always got to remember that it's there. So yeah, this is a deer area here. And now all I want to do really is just to point the camera across the street right here and show you from a little pan what the results of what we've been doing looks like comparatively. So right here we have bananas and tamarillo and lychee and mango and mulberry and some other stuff. And I'll go back here now. Sorry about my camera skills. I'm still getting used to this stuff. Well, we'll take a walk up the driveway here and I'll take you into that area that I just showed you with the compare and contrast moment. I would like to be able to get some of this information out to people, for example, who lost everything in the Lahaina tragedy, and also upcountry people who are faced with what are we going to do now kind of scenario, to be able to show what can be done. So right away I can tell you that standing here is compared to the driveway there is about 10-12 degrees cooler. Feels good. It's kind of a hot day. Yeah, so Max was a civil engineer. He got smitten by the permaculture bug back in the 80s and really ran with it beautifully. Okay, looking nice spider lilies. Very nice, very nice. This is a little ornamental tree here. Dwarf Pulchereme. You can see a little flower there, maybe. I picked that up in Borneo, actually, at an agricultural station. Traveling with some people that were much smarter than me. That was fun. Learning about all the fruits. At that point, I was just about to start up a nursery here. Work with Planted Hawaii, largest fruit tree nursery in the state. So here we're going into this area that borders the road we were just on. And the burned out field of deer foraged land and the burned out pasture